Well, hello once again, folks. This is another awesome episode of Customizing the Clone Wars. We are back, folks. My name is Chad Peak, aka Peak-OB1 from Peak-OB1 Custom Creations on Facebook. And along with me, I have my co-hosts, father and son duo, Brian Fulton and Elias Fulton from the Customs for the Kid blog spot. How are you guys doing?
Great. It's good to be back again. We took about only a month and a half, I think, off this time. But yeah, we're definitely forging ahead. We're not, we're not stopping until the show stops.
That's right. That's right. We're gonna just jam it out, doing custom toys the way we want to do them, making the things we only wish we had. I say we too because sometimes I make these toys and they're out the door and forget it. I don't even have it for my collection. I would love to see them do more stuff, more Clone Wars stuff. Do you think we're going to get any Clone Wars in the coming year?
I don't know about in the coming year.
Yeah.
I mean, we could. They are saying if it does happen, it's going to happen in the vintage line. I'm not crazy about that idea.
I know.
Only because I really don't like the previous editions that they've done. I don't like the vintage Ahsoka that much. I'm not crazy about the Anakin that they did or the Obi-Wan.
Right.
They're okay. They're a little ugly, but the cards are nice.
The cards are nice.
Figure is when it comes to the face, they got Butterface.
Yep. But we do it right here, don't we? We.
Oh yeah, you'll get it the right way on this show.
That's right. That's right. We do it animated style. This is a custom show, toy focused primarily. In a time where, we're not seeing so much stuff come our way, right? I mean, even toys in general. I mean, did you guys get any deals this Black Friday? Did you get any deals?
No, I didn't even go out.
I didn't really either. I didn't see anything, It's just like anything that sparked my interest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everything I was trying to get a hold of, I was fortunate enough to get a hold of before Black Friday.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of sitting back, relaxing now, and just waiting, I guess, for January, February when we get the next launch of stuff.
Yeah, hopefully that sale barge is on time, right?
I think it will be. I was hoping that it would come a little earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably not,
Awesome. Well, let's get into this show. This is why I love the Clone Wars. I'm just going to read the blurb right away because this is why I love the Clone Wars, because they went there. You know what I'm saying? They did such crazy things. This is the episode we're talking about is the start of a 4-part arc. And it is the Deception arc, and that's the name of this episode. It's called Deception, and it says Obi-Wan is apparently killed by a sniper named Rako Hardeen. In fact, Kenobi's death is part of a Jedi plan for him to assume the identity of Hardeen and then unravel a conspiracy to assassinate Chancellor Palpatine. Will Obi-Wan succeed in infiltrating Moralo Val and Cad Bane's criminal gang in prison? Can he foil their plan to kill the Chancellor? Wow. That is why I love the Clone Wars, man. I mean, it
was a great one, especially when it comes to the development of Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship, because the deception is really deceiving, I guess, everybody at large, but namely the way they were trying to sell it was deceiving Anakin.
Yeah. And you know what I realized too? Ahsoka was in on that too. She wasn't in on it.
She was all teary-eyed holding Obi-Wan.
Exactly. So, I mean, she was kind of out in the cold also. So,
yeah, it was a highly manipulative move on the part of the Jedi Council, and they really used Anakin as a pawn.
Yeah, this is where, it's getting, like we said last time in episode 61, it's getting serious now, right? Because there's two things happening at work. They're taking the Chancellor out of the equation. They're either going to try to assassinate him, which they won't do, obviously, because he's on top of it. and they're planting that seed of darkness, right? That seed of darkness in Anakin, you know. And this is the start of it. This episode is really where it begins. Did we have any other episodes where they tried to like take the Chancellor out?
Only
maybe that Senate one where they held the Senate hostage.
Yeah, held the Senate hostage, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Hostage Crisis. Jeez, that was
the first Cad Bane episode.
That was season 1.
It was, man. He's such a great character.
He is.
Definitely.
I'm hoping we see him in the new episodes.
Oh, for sure, man. I hope he's back. I hope we get with all these TV announcements, let's get a Cad Bane show, right?
That would be great.
That would be awesome. But let me share this Easter egg. Once again, this is it's called Deception, and sorry about that. And it says all warfare is based on deception. I can't read tonight. Sorry about that. All warfare is based on deception. What do you think about that, Elias?
I don't know. It's kind of like, I feel like that almost kind of plays into the fact that Chancellor Palpatine's almost in charge of both sides.
Yep.
And both sides are being deceived, I think, because he's kind of everything is kind of a pawn in his game, and there's only one person that's really gaining from all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
there's a lot of moral ambiguity on the part. A lot of moral ambiguity on the part of the Jedi Council at this point.
Oh, I know, and even it's seeping into the Senate too, where they feel like they need Palpatine, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, unlike who's this new guy, Snoke. You know, we don't really know how he, gathered his army or how he gathered his people. Well, where Palpatine did it through the Senate, right? You know, he was appreciated by the Senate, and if they took him out, they were like, "Oh, we don't have a Senate. We don't really have a voice. So what's going to happen?" Right? That's what I always thought. And then even in Rebels, you remember when Ahsoka, or not Ahsoka, but Ezra is like, why were you guys even fighting the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And they didn't even know. Him and Kalani.
They didn't have a good answer.
They didn't even know why they were fighting. It was crazy. But anyway, let's move it on. Here is my first custom of the night. I thought we'd get right into it. This is the Shock Trooper, and we were just discussing this a few minutes ago. Was this the first time that we saw the Shock Troopers in their Phase 2 format? I'm not sure, really. I'm not sure, but
they are the richness of the reds that you have.
I do too.
Yeah.
That's a great red.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mix that red myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like clean troops, or do you like more of like a kind of a war-torn kind of shock?
I think when it comes to shock troopers, it's better off to keep them clean because they're like guarding like Senate buildings and like
Yeah, they don't see a lot of action generally.
Right. But look at these guys.
For me, it varies. I mean,
yeah. Do you see that? You see that picture there?
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah. So I can't believe just the HD, the HD version of the Clone Wars. It seems like Netflix got some kind of new kind of programming or whatever, and it just looks so nice. It looks so fresh for some reason.
I agree.
Every time
I love the hell, just the detail.
I like his tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole tattoo.
He's such a cool looking head.
Yeah, this is the main kind of character that they're kind of going after. They have to infiltrate the prison and kind of get to this guy because he has this whole scheme at work, right?
Yep.
And here's our buddy Rico Hardin, one of my favorite characters, by the way. I just love this guy. I will show my box version of Reiko Hardin later in some of the other episodes that we're going to be doing for this arc. But this is the first version of him where he has that kind of that throwback helmet. You know what I'm saying? From the
Yep.
I want to say it was like a Joe Johnston or a McQuarrie design of some sort, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
I had forgot. I actually rewatched the episode today because I hadn't seen it in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot that he had that that visor and helmet. I forgot that was. I always think of when I think about him. I always think of him in the
concept Boba Fett movie.
Yeah, I forgot about this look.
Yeah, that was his early look, and it was similar. And right away, you knew something was going on, right? Or did you not catch it? Did you not catch that Obi-Wan had some kind
I didn't initially. I knew.
Me either. I thought, I think when it first happened, I was like, wait, they're going there? He's dead?
Well, you knew he wasn't dead. Do you remember something like back when we were a little kid, like something about Obi-Wan Kenobi being a clone, like when we were real young? I mean, like kids, like back.
Oh, yeah.
There was another card back name or something for him, or maybe I dreamt that up.
Why is Obi-Wan? You know,
yeah, Obi-Wan or something like that. Like he was.
I did hear that. Yeah,
you did. Okay, so it wasn't just me. Okay.
No, there was all kinds of weird stories way back, way back in the old days, right? You know,
yeah, like when we were kids, really. I mean, it's before we were even teenagers.
Right. There was always some kind of story like, Owen was actually his brother, you know, and they had this whole ruse. Did you ever hear that story?
No, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, Owen was actually Obi-Wan's brother. You know, some of the first drafts and early things. It's all it's all crazy.
Yeah, so it was like when they killed him off, I'm like, are they trying to play into that whole clone thing that I heard about when I was a kid, and the Obi-Wan that we see in A New Hope is a clone, and you know, yeah.
Right.
I thought I was just like, man, the Clone Wars isn't canon anymore.
Well, you didn't grow up with that story.
I didn't, but I was kind of like bummed. You know,
you thought Obi-Wan really did die?
Yeah, and I was like, man, does that mean that the Clone Wars isn't canon? And I was like, so relieved when they went.
So you were a little thrown off, right? Okay.
Like as a little kid, I was like, wow, okay, that just happened. I felt like I was about in the dark as Anakin and Ahsoka there, and then they finally go into the doctor's office with him like sitting there with the bulletproof vest, and I was like, okay, thank God.
Now I get it. I get it. Yeah, so here he is again, Reiko, and this is his first outfit. It's similar to, you know, his other outfit that he gets.
Jacket is.
Yeah, but wouldn't it have been great if we had a toy of this? I mean, they could have put him on that speeder and had, you know,
that would have been great.
This is something I definitely want to do, you know, in the future, because he has his own speeder, he has his own look. It just seems like something is really right up my alley. You know what I'm saying? I just really dig it. One of my favorite characters. But yeah, they pulled off the ruse, and here they are at the funeral, and it was this dark, kind of moody funeral, you know. And there it is. You know, there it is. There's the seed being planted right then. He's not taking it well at this point. You know, he was already getting dark, don't you think?
Yeah. I was surprised at how small Obi-Wan's funeral was. I was like, man, hardly anyone's there.
Yeah. But guess who was there? Satine.
She was the loudest one there, too. She was.
Yeah. Yeah, she was pretty upset, you know, and Padme. Padme was there, too, because obviously she's his friend, you know.
Yeah. That was cool to see Ahsoka in a Jedi robe.
Yeah. Yeah, that I think the last time we saw her like that was in the movie, which was, you know, forever ago. I mean, the first air date of this was 2012. So, I mean, it had been a long time since we've seen her like that. That would definitely be cool, something cool to make, you know, as a custom.
I think so, too.
Absolutely.
I thought about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so here's the first Easter egg of the night, and it's not Reiko Hardin. It's everything else. Does that bar look familiar to you by chance?
Is that like Zero's bar?
It sure is. You're good. You got a good eye. It's absolutely a refurbished version of Zero's bar. I'm not making this up, of course. It is on StarWars.com. They just basically changed the lighting and turned it to a new angle, so you saw a little bit more of what the place actually looked like. So
is that the modal nodes in the background?
It really is. Yeah, they're taking a break. They're not even singing or anything. Yeah, there's like all these different bottles on the table and whatnot. A Greedo hanging out. All a Greedo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but look at that. Snake, and they're called an anacondan.
Now that's the same one that we're going to see in a future episode with Savage and Spider Maul.
It's not.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is because this one has kind of weird eyes,
Yeah, and its body's a little more lumpy.
Yeah, but that's absolutely Zero's lunch. That's his bar, but
I think, and they did have another one of those snake, like bumpy worm ones, and the Ahsoka arc.
Yep.
The last arc when she like cuts open the elevator and then she like kicks out the glass and it almost like hits the thing.
Yes, indeed. And look at that tattoo, man. Oh man, talk about hard to paint.
Oh, it looks it.
That tattoo is a pain in the butt to paint, but
especially around the eye.
This is a fun one. As he's celebrating and he's saying, "Hey, I just killed a Jedi." He's so proud of himself. Apparently, it was probably his biggest score ever. And who knows how much he was paid for it. But we cut back to the Jedi Temple, and sure enough, Mace Windu and Yoda go and visit a Obi-Wan that's recovering from his fall. And now that he's kind of going to infiltrate the prison, he has to go in disguise, right? So it's the first time we actually see him just completely shaven down. And you actually made this, didn't you?
I did, but it was like down to the wire. And now that I'm even looking at the figure, I'm realizing that I didn't get the burn mark on his chest.
Well, you can always go back and put it in, right?
I could, but this is what I have so far. I at least got the beard removed, and I got the hair removed.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I probably got the picture taken, and I only got one decent picture right before we started the show.
Okay, cool.
But I got to get that burn mark in.
And how did you go about smoothing him down?
Okay. There's this on the Dremel. There is a black brush. It's a circular brush. Go grab the brush real quick while we're because right now we're looking at the figure anyway. So this nylon brush is probably the best tool. I've used it all the time for whenever I do any type of customizing, when I'm going to be removing pretty much anything from a figure. And let me see. All right, so this is it right here. This is probably my favorite tool for the Dremel.
To kind of smooth.
Anytime I want to remove anything from a figure, it just, especially on the soft plastic, it just peels it away. And, you don't have to put a lot of force because it'll go. I actually used it to saw apart a figure the other day.
Really?
That was soft plastic because I needed I needed like half of a chest. I needed what was below the chest because I was going to put it into another piece, but I was able to cut through a figure with this. And the greatest part, if this hits against your finger, you're not going to draw blood like most of the Dremel tools.
Sure. Yeah, there's a little brush too. There's like a tiny little brush too in there.
There is. Is that the metal one that you're talking about?
No, it's similar to that, but it's just like a bristle brush. It's not shaped.
Well, this is bristle. I mean, if you look at it.
Yeah, it's more shaped like a round, kind of a round one. You know what I'm saying? There's two different ones. Yeah,
okay. This is the only one mine came with.
I have a couple of different brushes.
Really? Oh wow. Yeah, I wish I had more. I mean,
Yeah, those are cool.
this brush, I mean, it's lasted me probably the whole 8 years I've been customizing.
Really? That's
You
good.
don't have to replace it.
Still going.
I constantly use it.
Yeah.
I use it to clean up joints anytime I after I grind down the PVC part of a joint, I'll go in there with that brush after just to clean it out and get it nice and smooth to get rid of any jagged areas.
Nice.
It's definitely my favorite tool in the toolkit.
Nice. Well, thanks for sharing that.
No problem.
I do appreciate it. All right. So once they get him, you know, looking like your character that you designed there, they realize they have to make his transformation go even further. You know, so what they have to do is they have to get Reiko's clothes, and they take his voice as well. And believe it or not, I didn't know this at first, but I thought for some crazy reason somebody else actually did the Reiko Hardeen voice, but it's actually James Arnold Taylor, like moving from Obi-Wan to Reiko Hardeen. That's something.
That's impressive.
It really is. It really is. He is the master of just voice projection. You know what I'm saying? Because he even talks as if he talks as Obi-Wan, only in Reiko Hardeen's voice. You know what I'm saying? And they say that's how Anakin realizes later on, spoiler alert, that he's still alive, right? Because right now they don't know, right? They're freaked out. You know.
Oh yeah, they go a couple episodes before they even find out.
Yeah, you know, they're just ticked, and they go to pick him up, and that's the sale, right? They have to convince Anakin that he's gone, for them to know that he's just truly dead. So they take him to prison. They pick him up, and they haul him off to prison, and we see this vast array of prison inmates, right?
That's impressive. Just the amount of work that went into creating each one of those assets.
They probably reused a few in there.
Oh, I'm sure, but just to create that large of a population, that probably benefited a lot from the work that they did on the underwater scenes that they did, because I know they created some new technology to pull off the calamari episodes.
Yeah, I think they originally did some of that manipulation with Mandalore, you know, when they were doing that parade.
Yep.
I bet this is like 2 different tables of characters, and then they just flip it around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here we are, we're in prison, and he is in prison as well. This is Obi-Wan as Reiko Hardeen. Now he is in prison. And he has to go and find this Moralo Eval, this person that is going to unravel this plot to kill Palpatine. So, and this is the first time we get a Lutrillian. Isn't that great? You know,
that was great.
Oh man, I'm so happy they put him in there. He's always Dave Filoni was always pulling from the cantina, right?
Yeah,
I think
still does.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we're starting to see that in Star Wars Resistance now, which is awesome.
I agree. I don't know why people have so many problems with that show. You know, that the characters that they're pulling in, the kind of the world building they're doing with it is very similar to this. You know, and it was just.
I think it's solving one of the biggest problems that people had with The Force Awakens was no familiar aliens, and at least Star Wars Resistance is showing like, yeah, they're still here because it's only a 6 months time difference. So,
yeah, I hear you. I agree with that totally. And we see him. Obi-Wan can handle himself. We get a Karkadon come up.
That was an interesting scene. He like walks up and he's like, he doesn't look so tough. And then he's like,
didn't he fork him up?
Yeah, it was after he was like eating like the prison food. He's like, this food is awful. And then he takes a fork and he stabs him through the hand. He's like, maybe you'd taste better.
Oh man, exactly. And it's just like it's unreal that he can just do whatever he can do to just get by and make a name for himself even in prison, right?
Oh yeah.
He made this Reiko Hardeen look so good, you know. I mean, eventually Reiko Hardeen's going to be back out there, Yeah. But finally, once he meets up with Moralo Eval, he is carted back to his prison cell. And who is on the top bunk? Mr. Cad Bane himself, right? We didn't realize how many people are actually in prison at this point, right?
Oh, I know. You have Boba in there. Boba probably got in there from that Plo Koon Ahsoka episode.
Yeah.
And they ended up catching him. I don't know how they ended up getting Bosk, though.
That was with the Aura Singh. That was with
okay.
the thing too, right?
Yep.
Well, it was the same arc. Oh, Aura Singh got away. They eventually got her too, so she's probably in there also somewhere.
Did Cad Bane get recaptured when he ended up fighting like Quinlan Vos and?
I don't know. I think because they were out of order. I think this is because of Senate, the Senate murders or the Senate. What's it called? We were just talking about it. Hostage crisis, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because they're all out of order. I really hope, the one thing I really hope they do for the Clone Wars as it comes back is they put out one more set of videos now in order.
Yeah, I would love to have it in chronological order, just so you could just like play straight through. Like I try to do it on Netflix now, but I'm like looking at the meme that I have a photograph of with like the order. I'm like, all right, what's next? And you're trying to like figure it all out.
Yeah.
But it would be so nice to just be able to go smoothly all the way through.
I agree. I really hope they do something like that, where it's just all in order, because that beginning is just amazing. But anyway, do you think it's going to be on Disney Plus? You think they're going to move it over from Netflix or no?
Oh, it is going to be on Disney Plus.
Oh, will we? The whole series? The whole series?
I don't know about the whole series because I think that was it season 6?
Yeah.
That was a Netflix
exclusive.
That was exclusive to Netflix. So I don't know how that's going to work out.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to keep them on both platforms. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Early on in this show, folks, if you haven't seen more of our episodes, we were always on that scare of Netflix is losing Clone Wars.
Oh, I know. Well, we did all the screenshots that way,
Yeah, and man, and they stuck with it the whole time. It's been it's been really great. Just kind of having that there. To take us on our journey, right?
Yeah.
Where you can keep you can keep watching it. You can rewatch it. I love rewatching this stuff. I really do. It's great. But this is going to lead us into the next custom as we talk your ear off. I actually did a Cad Bane jailbird, so I call him, right? And there he is.
Oh.
So all I used, I did end up using that the Cad Bane in the clone outfit. I had a couple of him, a couple extra of him. So what I did is I literally just ground down the suit. So I'll definitely use the brush technique next time. I use the brush in the joints to kind of get all the debris out. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yet, yeah, I just grinded it down, and then at the bottom where his pant legs go, I just added a little bit of that Procreate that we use, and then he turned out pretty cool.
That's cool.
Thanks.
So it's just the actual clone body, just reshaped.
That's the clone body. Yeah, I just ground down I just filed it down using a Dremel tool. It might take forever with sandpaper, folks. So
oh god, yeah.
And you younger customizers, you might want to get some parental supervision if you're gonna go and grind down your character. But these suits, they're pretty standard. They look like they're dirty too a lot. So I put a little wear and tear on them, like they were just a mess in there, right?
Did you carve in the lines in his suit, or is that just painted in?
That's just paint. That's just paint.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I actually did the number on the back of the outfit. I didn't have time to put a turnaround on it, but I did the number system, the Arabesh number system on his arm. And I'll have more pictures on my Facebook page. Just for time's sake, these are the only 2 photos I have of him right now. I was literally taking pictures of him just a few minutes prior to getting on the show tonight.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I wanted to share him. I thought it was fun. It was
heck yeah,
awesome, to be honest. It was. It was kind of easy. It was just grinding down that suit. I did have to use a different hand for the right hand because he had, it's that Cad Bane where his he's only showing his alien paint, and you can kind of pull that gauntlet off.
Yep. So how long did it take to make that custom?
A couple hours,
okay.
About 5 hours. About 5 hours.
Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it comes down to paint, the collar and everything. I had to do a little bit of work with the sleeves, the pant legs, and the collar. But everything else was pretty much there and ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, and he was not working well with Reiko Hardin, was he? He just wasn't really getting along with him.
I think that had to do with and I feel bad for Obi-Wan in this regard, because so many people had beef with him and he didn't know it. Because Reiko Hardin was going around doing his own thing, and then when he takes on Reiko Hardin's identity, he has to deal with all the aftermath that actually came out of Reiko Hardin actually doing stuff.
Yeah, his reputation was catching up with him, right? Reiko Hardin's reputation was catching up with him.
Yeah, he had a lot of beef with a lot of people.
I know he did, and that's the best part of it. It's coming up here, the whole Boba Fett thing and everything. But here's a little Easter egg we got that was such a treat, don't you think? What was the big reveal right here? If you're looking at that picture, can you see that picture there?
Yeah, I can see the picture, but
well, is it just black?
No, it's not black. I can see the hologram. I can see Yoda, and I can see Mace Windu.
We're not picking out the Easter egg.
Yeah.
Oh well, what the big reveal was that he called himself Ben. He called himself Ben.
Oh, that's right.
And early drafts of the Clone Wars. This is also on StarWars.com. So I found out early drafts were that Satine was actually going to call him Ben all the time. That was her nickname for him.
Interesting.
Yeah, but they never used it. I guess they said it didn't sound right. When Anna Graves was, when she was saying
voicing it.
When she was voicing it and whatnot. That's not to say she's not amazing or anything. I'm just saying. So the story says that it wasn't really working, so they never used it until now, until he decides to use it as his alias. You know what I'm saying? His online name, right? Yeah. So here we go. After he talks to them, he basically says Cad Bane is in control here, and they're like, we didn't even know that Cad Bane was doing it, and he causes a lot of problems.
Oh my gosh! Look at that, Chad. Talk again.
Yeah,
and it's a little. Look at the picture.
Yes. So
under Boba Fett's armpit and on the very left side of the screen, it's the same guy twice.
Yeah. Oh, they love to do that, don't they? Our next episode that we get into.
He's one of the Death Watch guys, isn't he?
Yeah.
I know he's Mandalorian.
Yeah, he's Mandalorian. Yeah, a lot of the people that were in the prison were some of the tougher people, the Death Watch people, some Rhodians, some Trandoshans, obviously the Latrillian that we were talking about earlier, and the Karkadons, of course, the shark people. They just have a terrible reputation. So they're all in this prison, and maybe they keep some of the special people out of there. You know what I'm saying? So Cad Bane tells Boba Fett, "Hey, go get your revenge on Hardeen. He just rolled in, you know." And he's like, "It's like, hey, you remember that there was like a job or something he took from him, and he was just not happy about it. So ultimately, here it is. They go and they get in a fight. This is the real reason why I love the Clone Wars, because only in the Clone Wars can you have Obi-Wan disguised getting in a fight with Boba Fett where it's broken up by none other than Bosk, right?
Yeah.
It's just unreal. And such a great thing. And they even beefed up the design of Bosk. Did you know that? They made his design a little bit more crisp.
Okay.
Yeah. But here's our next Easter egg. I didn't want to circle just one Easter egg because there's so many different Easter eggs in this episode. And this is also came from StarWars.com. You can go there and look at all the different cool things, all the cool different facts, the trivia, all the different stuff. Do you know what these numbers symbolize? Any guess? Any guess what those numbers symbolize? It's 0 through 2.
Is it like maybe like their position on the wanted list or something?
Right. No, even cooler than that. Because this is a toy-centric show, those are their numbers in the Shadows of the Dark Side collection. Is that awesome?
Oh, that is cool.
Or what? Yeah.
What are the chances?
Yeah, so 032 and 022. Man, they had it down for some reason in the Clone Wars collection. And that's so cool.
That is cool. I would have never known. I would have never recognized that unless you pointed that out.
Yeah. That is a little bit of trivia on StarWars.com. You know, all the different things that you can see, and there's that number on his sleeve there. I'm not sure what that means exactly or what number he's got on there, but there it is.
It actually looks like writing. It might not be a number. It might actually be writing.
Yeah, more Arabic.
I wonder what that says.
Yeah,
I'm starting to learn a little bit of Arabic just from writing customs. Like I use Arabic and tagging all our photos now.
Yeah.
So some of those, let's see. Yeah, I would have to check it out, but I'm starting to learn a little bit of Arabic finally.
For sure on that one. But after they get this riot going, that whole fight starts a riot. And what happens is they decide to check out at this point. They're going to escape. And of course, Reiko or Obi-Wan or Ben, I should say, is watching them. So he follows them, right? And here's the first time we're seeing clone officers with the hat on. Isn't that amazing?
That nice Imperial look.
Yeah, right? They're starting to get to that point where they start to look like Imperials. They were also saying to Star Wars Galaxies or was that Clone Wars game, that online game, they actually they were the influence of this hat. And Dave Filoni saw that and he was like, I gotta do this. So I decided I would do it also.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is just a clone trooper with what is that? The body, the Yularen head.
Yularen. Yep.
Yeah. So I've used that so many times. Have you ever thought about maybe using a different body other than the Yularen body?
Yeah. There's a body that's semi-decent. It's a I want to say it's an Indiana Jones figure. But I don't know the exact. I bought a few of them, but I don't remember what character it was.
Yeah. I've been thinking about trying to maybe use a different body because if you use the Yularen, I can't even say it.
Yularen
body, it's a tongue twister. It's okay, but it's very skinny. You know, he's skinny. It's not the end of the world if you use it. It's probably the best thing to use. You had gone about putting you have a way of making the heads stay on a different neck post, right?
Yeah, I just shoot a little bit of glue from a glue gun into, if the hole is bigger than the neck peg, it works great. Then you have to make some adjustments. If it's the other way around, you're probably not going to be using the glue gun in that situation.
Yeah.
But you just shoot a little bit of glue from the glue gun into the head socket, quickly pop it onto the neck peg, and start tilting the head in all the different ways that you would want it to fit in. If there's any glue that kind of leaks out underneath the jawline, just take an X-Acto knife and trim it away, and it fills it perfectly. You still have all your articulation. Nothing actually gets glued to the neck peg itself. It's perfect. It's a spacer, essentially.
Nice. Very good. I'm not sure what I did with this one, but that is the heavy head, kind of the second rendition of the head. We now have, I would say, two different versions where earlier seasons compared to the later seasons, right? Do you veer more towards the newer head or the older head, would you say?
The head that I love the best is the Rex that came with the soft good comma.
Oh yeah, of course.
I love that head.
Yeah, that is a nice one. And of course that figure was super hard to get, right?
It was, but I did make a mold of that head.
Yeah.
So I could just pour them whenever I need them.
Yeah. And this was a hilarious picture. I thought I'd move it along. So what are they going to do? How are they going to escape from the prison?
Are they escaping with the incinerator? They turn the incinerator off and they jump in with the dead bodies, which was about as morbid as it gets.
It was like a chute down to the
incinerator.
And then before they get transferred to the incinerator, they came out and just zonked all the troopers there and left.
Yeah,
But they did travel with a dead body, didn't they?
Obi-Wan did. Two of them were empty, and one of them wasn't. And because of Rico Hardeen's wonderful reputation, he got to stay with the dead body.
Yeah. And this picture right here is the guy opening up Cad Bane's coffin because they get vital signs. And all of a sudden, this dead guy, or supposedly a dead guy, jumps out at you, right? And look at his face. He's so freaked out, right? He's like, oh my God. He throws his sandwich at him. He's like, forget this. They're zombies. Walking Dead. Oh man. I love that. But
I think the sandwich had a bite out of it.
Yeah, it gets to a point where, Obi-Wan has to shoot this officer, and he's not going to do it, right? His gun jams. So he says his gun jams, right?
Gun jam.
So they sound the alarm, but they still end up getting out of there. And they smuggle a ship, and, Cad Bane punches him out and says, well, I still don't like you, but you can go with us. Because Moralo's like, he killed a Jedi. He killed a Jedi, and Cad Bane has some of the best lines. He's like, do it like a man, face to face,
Yep.
Oh, man. I love Corey Burton, man. He is the best, at doing Cad Bane stuff. All of his lines are just my favorite. Compared next to Obi-Wan, of course. Obi-Wan is like the king of trolling, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah. So that is the episode. As they fly away they're Cad or Moralo Val, of course, is happy, and they succeeded in the first part of their plan. And at the end of the episode, they fly away. They fly off and sneak off to play out this plan, don't they?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, that was it, and we're going to be starting an amazing arc, of a couple different episodes. That was Deception, of course. We got Friends and Enemies, the box.
Next we're going to be picking up on Nal Hutter, right?
Yep. We pick up on Nal Hutter next time, and then we'll have the box, and we'll have Crisis on Naboo, and we're definitely excited to be talking about these episodes because
we just have so many customs coming from this particular arc that we can't fit them all in one episode, or else we'll be sitting here for hours. So we are going to break them up into smaller bits. So that's why we didn't go through the whole arc tonight. because you have a whole lot coming your way.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. Very cool. Well, we are absolutely glad. We're very thankful, right? We're very thankful for you guys. Let us know, you know, just anything you want to know about our show, anything you want to say to us, any questions. Please give us some likes, some upvotes on our YouTube channel here. It's just great to be talking about this show and how many great things are going to happen with it. When I am not here, you can find me, of course, at Peak-OB1 Custom Creations on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram at Peak-OB1 Custom Figures. And where can we find you?
Probably the best place to find us would be on the Customs for the Kid blog. From there, you can get links to all the different places that we post. We're on Facebook, the YouTube channel that you're watching us on now, Tumblr, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Google Plus, and Pinterest as well, because I always forget that one.
Awesome.
But yeah, until we return, I guess. May the force be with you.
Yep, always.